So there was a statue that was dropped on the National Mall here in DC in the DMV area. And it was of Jeffrey Epstein and Trump holding hands. And what's funny about this, obviously, somebody dropped a statue of them holding hands. And it included some messages from Trump's birthday card to Epstein. But what's funny about this is as much stuff is going on, people are not forgetting about Trump and Epstein being friends. And no amount of news stories or Trump saying there's fake news or Kash Patel saying there's nothing there, nothing is going to keep people from continuing to pay attention to this, to dive into it. And the statue is a physical reminder that this is on the hearts and minds of the American people. We want to know who was in those files. We want to know why you feel so strongly about hiding them. So this report is coming from over on Axios. And if you have not seen the statue, here it is. Let me go ahead and zoom in. I think they made Trump a little too skinny. I'm not entirely sure about Epstein, but there you go. They're holding hands. They obviously are well acquainted, not just in the statue, but in real life. It says a statue of President Trump holding Jeffrey Epstein's hand entitled Best Friends Forever appeared in the National Mall in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday morning. The spray-painted 12-foot statue of Epstein and Trump, who said he had a falling out with the convicted offender years before the late financier's trafficking charges, is the latest of several protest installations against the president to emerge in the nation's capital. The statue is across the street from the U.S. Capitol building, like I said, right there on the National Mall. If you've been to D.C., they have, I think this might be like the South Side, they call it, of the Capitol, between here and the Lincoln Memorial. That looks like where this is. Okay, it says the statue is across the road from the U.S. Capitol building, and a plaque at its base reads, "We're celebrating the long-lasting bond between President Trump and his closest friend, Jeffrey Epstein." There's no denying it. Trump said they were very close friends. Epstein said they were very close friends. They had a falling out. And a lot of people are saying like, oh, well, Trump fell out with him before he even had those charges. That very well may be. But for whatever reason, Trump is so vehemently working against releasing these files. Whether you say it's him, it's Pam Bondi, anybody that you say it is, they are working on behalf of him. They're doing things at his behest. And he wants to move on from this stuff. He's saying it's fake news. He never wrote the letter. He never signs his signature like that. He doesn't draw pictures. No amount of obfuscating is going to get us to forget about it. And this statue is a physical reminder. It says one of two plaques nearby depicts an excerpt from Epstein's birthday book that bears Trump's name. The president has denied he was the author of the excerpt and has brought a lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal over it. The Wall Street Journal was the first person to cover it. This is before the actual photo was published. But the photo, when it was published, is like the silhouette of a woman. And the Epstein estate provided it. So Trump can try to deny it all he wants. But are they going to go sue the Epstein estate? Probably not. Instead, he's going to sue the Wall Street Journal, not the people that provided him the actual photo and the letter with his signature at the bottom of it. It says the National Park Police issued a permit for a wood, foam, and resin artwork to be displayed on the National Mall until 8 p.m. Sunday, according to the Washington Post. The purpose for the artwork stated on the permit application to demonstrate freedom of speech and artistic expression using political imagery. So somebody applied for the permit, they had the right to be there, but they put the wrong type of statue there. But the whole point is to make noise. So does it really matter that it was taken down earlier than it was supposed to? No, because just the shocking nature of it is enough to get the press and get the attention that they wanted it to have. The Secret Handshake Project group claims it created the statue, and an anonymous representative told Art News they like the idea that September is officially called Friendship Month. Trump has had quite a few friends throughout his life, and one of his friends was Epstein. So we wanted to celebrate that with a statue of what that friendship might feel like. The group also claims it was behind other anti-Trump statues in DC, including one titled Dictator Approved, which was displayed in June. I'm not familiar with that one. Maybe we'll look at it a little later after this, but I love it. You know, art imitates life, life imitates art. You said that was your friend. You drew him pictures. You had a little bit of art towards him yourself, and people are not going to forget that. The past cannot just be erased by you saying, oh, well, you know, we stopped being friends. You guys' relationship is very clear to the entire public. It's literally there in writing, your own writing. Liberals are free to waste their money however they see fit, but it's not news that Epstein knew Donald Trump because Donald Trump kicked Epstein out of his club for being a creep. That comes from White House spokesperson Abigail Jackson in an email statement. Yes, he knew him, but to what extent did you guys have a relationship? Donald Trump literally said something to the nature of Epstein is his friend and he likes the women on a little bit of a younger side, which we know what Epstein was convicted of. Child, right? So to what extent did you guys have a relationship, and why are you defending these files so harshly? What is it that's in these files that you don't want to come out? Whether it's you, people you know, whatever it is, you're defending it. So you look kind of guilty, and you won't let us have the files. So we really don't know to what extent you guys' relationship went and where it ended. Democrats, the media, and the organizations that's wasting their money on the statue knew about Epstein and his victims for years and did nothing to help them while President Trump was calling for transparency, and now is delivering on it with thousands of pages of documents. Representatives for the National Park Service did not immediately respond to Axios Tuesday evening's request for comment. So two things. One, the statue is down now. So, you know, it made the political statement it was intended to make. It's gone, but there are pictures online of it. People are talking about it, and that's the entire thing. It's keeping Trump and Epstein and these files. It's not even necessarily about Trump to the extent that he's in charge of the Department of Justice, which is in charge of the FBI. He doesn't want it out there. It's about getting to the truth of what happened, whether that's allowing the victims to have a testimony, whether that's doing a vote like Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie are doing to release the files, whatever it is, they have to be made public. We as the public demand transparency from our government. And people can say, oh, well, you didn't push for it when Biden was in office. It doesn't matter. Is it important that the files are released, or is it important when the files are released? You got to tell me that. So what? I care about it now. So are you saying that it's not important to get justice for the people that were affected because Trump is in office and I didn't care about it back then? Is that what you're telling me? Are the victims that have literally come out to speak about this and say they want all of the files released, are you telling me that their hurt, their pain, and their justice doesn't matter because nobody asked about it 4 years ago when Biden was in office? Is that the hill that you're willing to stand on? If not, then you've got to release the files. Stop giving us all of this circular logic about why they can't come out. You can put them out. You have the power.